GCSE Music Revision, J.S. Bach, Third Movement, Brandenburg Concerto No. 5 in D major. Here are the key features that you will need to memorize for the listening exam. Firstly, performance forces. So this is one of 6 concertos that was written for different instruments. It has a continuo, which is a basso continuo using the harpsichord, the cello and the double bass. It breaks with tradition because of the extended virtuoso solo for the harpsichord. The ripieno only has 1 violin. The concertino is flute, violin and harpsichord. It mainly has terrace dynamics because it is of the Baroque period. The concertino, which has the flute, violin and harpsichord, is an unusual lineup. In terms of structure, this piece is in ternary form, that is ABA. The A section is fugal. The B section has a new theme in the flute, and the return of the A section repeats with an extra D major chord to re-establish a tonic. It is a concerto grosso, which means it has a concertino, that is the soloist. It has a ripieno, which is for the rest of the orchestra, but it also has a basso continuo, which is the bass line. For harmony and tonality, this piece is in D major, mostly in the A section. In the B section, you go into the dominant, which means it goes into A major, and also the relative minor, which is B minor. It is diatonic, and the chords move functionally. That is mostly, it is in primary chords, chord 1, 4 and 5, and occasionally it moves to chord 2 and chord 5, 7. Most of the chords are in root position or first inversion. And you can see there are perfect cadences at the end of each section. In terms of the tempo, meter and rhythm, this piece is in 2/4, but it feels like a 6/8 because of the triplets. And in this particular case, for the Baroque period, it feels like a gigue. It uses triplets, and especially you can see it, for example, in the flute. It has dotted quavers, which you can see in the solo violin. And also you can see that throughout the piece. There are many semiquaver runs in the harpsichord. Texture-wise, we can see it has polyphonic, that is contrapuntal sections. It is fugal in style. The soloist creates a 4-part counterpoint. There is also pedal points at various points of the piece. And it also has stretto, which is the fugue subject overlapping to build intensity. Lastly, in terms of the melody, it often is conjunct. It has scalic runs in the harpsichord. There are rising sequences, especially in the flute and the violin. There are many ornaments, so you can see trills and appoggiaturas. There's also fugal in terms of the subject and the counter subject. And you can see that, for example, in the violin and in the flute. It's now your turn. Write down as much as you can remember. Check each one at the end, and you redo it until you have memorized it. Pause the video and copy down and memorize as much as you can. Performance forces. Write down as much as you can. Structure. Write down as much as you can. Harmony and tonality. Write down as much as you can. Tempo, meter, rhythm. Write down as much as you can. Texture. Write down as much as you can. Melody. Write down as much as you can. How much did you get? Pause the video and redo as often as you can so that you can get as many of the key features as you can. Here is the music with the key features. Follow the detailed analysis of the piece along with it. Listen. You must internalize the piece. how, when, and what features appear. Write, jot down those key features. Which part of the piece are certain features heard? Repeat, watch it again, check your answers. What have you missed? Do it again until you know it.